Hey there, young historians, and happy Bow Tie Tuesday to all of you. Yesterday, we started talking about the idea of who's behind the information that we find online. That information is always created by a person, and we want to know who is behind that information. The assignment from yesterday looked like this. You had a document here. It'd be a good idea for you to open up that document so that you can check your answers while I go through this debriefing or this explanation of the assignment. So have those open. You can unsubmit and you can edit and resubmit if you'd like to, but just make sure that you're kind of checking those answers. So we had 3 documents here. The first document was this one. It looks like it's a tweet from the Twitter's machine. And it looks like it's from Project for More Learning at Project for More 1. We see a couple of tweets here in this thread. And then in the background, we can see a little bit of a profile. And again, we're trying to decide who is behind the information and whether or not we can trust it. So the first question was, what argument does this source make about Saturday school? Well, it seems pretty clear that their argument is there should be school on Saturdays. They are in favor of a 6-day school week. They're saying that research shows that young people forget a great deal of content every weekend. So that's the argument they're making. What are the qualifications or expertise? Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, I don't see anything on here that really shows that they're any position of authority. It doesn't look like they're really from a school district or from a government or any research facility. So I would say that they don't really have a lot of expertise on this. So why might they want to make the argument about Saturday school? What is their motivation? Well, it does seem pretty clear in their tweet that they want to help young people. They want to help students get their education and that they're forgetting over the weekend. But there can be multiple motivations. If we look back here at their profile, we can see that they're funding. Where do they get their money? Their funding is provided by the National School Lunch Providers Association. So their motivation can be the almighty dollar. Yes. So overall, how much do you trust this source about mandatory Saturday school? It might sound official, Project for More Learning, but we really don't know anything about this organization. They might be motivated by money with that funding. There's no sources linked here, so we can go and investigate them a little bit more. I don't know how much we're really going to want to trust them. The second document was this one. It's from the Facebook. We've got a Facebook post, and it looks like it's from the Community Sports Alliance. We're seeing a message here that was posted. And let's first find out, what is the argument that this source makes about Saturday school? Well, they don't really talk about the value of Saturday school. They just say that it negatively affects other aspects of life, like sports and activities. So they are opposed to Saturday school. They don't think we should have it. They're happy with the 5-day week, maybe even a 4-day week of school, perhaps. What qualifications or expertise does this source have? Well, they don't really have any qualifications or expertise about school and education, but it does seem like they're in a position of authority to make a claim about sports and activities. It does seem like they have some pretty good knowledge about that and how having school on Saturdays would affect sports and activities. So why might the source want to make this argument? Well, it seems that their motivation really is sports, and a day of school on a Saturday is going to negatively affect those sports and activities. It would be much harder for them to schedule games and for students to get those other skills. So overall, how much do you trust this source about whether there should be mandatory Saturday schools? I mean, this is a local organization. They're making a legitimate point, a good, legit point about the effects of mandatory Saturday school on sports. It seems like they're trustworthy on that. So I think they're a pretty trustworthy site. The third document was this one. It's clearly Dr. Turner's blog. It is a blog. Somebody is just writing on the internet. But when we look a little bit closer, we're trying to find out who is behind that information. It seems pretty clear that the information is Dr. Turner. What argument does this source make about Saturday school? Well, her argument about Saturday school is not really made very strongly. She suggests that it's a possible way to increase scores, but doesn't really offer any other evidence that Saturday school would result in better test scores. It's more like a research posting, it almost seems like. So what qualifications or expertise does Dr. Turner have? Well, Dr. Turner is a professor of education at a local university. Typically, professors at universities are a trusted authority on the issues of schooling. It seems like they would understand that. However, we don't know whether this individual is a a particular expert on Saturday school. So you could be an expert on education, but maybe you don't really know much about Saturday school. What might the source want to make, or sorry, again, why might this source want to make this argument? She focuses her argument on scores from an international test. She seems to be in a position to know about this and to report accurately. I mean, it doesn't seem like she's really motivated by money or any other kind of motives. It just seems like she's just reporting. And so overall, how much do you trust this? Well, again, a professor at a local university seems like a pretty trusted source. So I think we can probably trust what she's saying here. So we've now looked at these three documents. And even though we read three different sources, what was similar about our evaluations of them? We considered who's behind the information. We found that they could be experts in one field or another. Found out what their views are on Saturday school, and we see that there are some conflicting views. Well, none of these sources is perfect, but how would you rank the trustworthiness of the three sources? Would it be A, B, C? Would it be C, B, A, C, A, B, B, C, A? Multiple options. So I'm going to have you choose those, and then I'm going to have you go back to the post from yesterday and make a personal comment telling me whether you would have it as A, B, C, or C, B, A, or whatever you're going to choose. All right, the third is, what additional sources might you trust more? Are there other sources out there that you might want to actually be searching and finding out? There could be other opinions out there, but really we want to make sure that we're looking for good, trusted, reliable sources. And why should we care so much about the source? Well, we now see that there are different motives behind those sources. People have different reasons to make their opinions or to make their statements. So we want to make sure that we're thinking about who that source is. A few other points. Wide range of motivations: making money, creating policy change, maybe entertaining, expressing themselves, and sometimes, yes, people just want to be a troll on the internet. Just know that those are some of the motivations. Lastly, who is behind the information? We want to think about where their funding is from, what is their mission or perspective, and what might their motivations be for presenting that information. So remember, just think about those things when we're thinking about who is behind the information. Again, this curriculum comes from Civic Online Reasoning and the Stanford History Education Group. What I want you to do now is I want you to go to yesterday's post. Looks like this. Actually looks like this. And I want you to see where you've got the video from yesterday and the assignment. And in the class comments, I would like you to write your order of trusted documents. Would it be CBA? Is it ABC? Is it CAB? You choose. I want you to put that in the comments, send it off to me. Shows me that you watched this video. All right, see ya.